Hey friends, welcome back to Law Creations. Welcome back to vlog number 1. We'll call this series that I'll be doing a little bit of everything. So what do I mean by that? I'll be showing you techniques. I'll be showing you the tools I use for different projects. I'll give you folks my opinion on different materials, different ideas, and I'll use this vlog to show you folks my process. I'll try to make it as informational as possible. I'll try not to ramble. I am guilty of rambling. And let me just start out by saying whatever community you folks are a part of, be it Instagram, be it Facebook, YouTube, there are many, many more diorama artists that are much more talented than myself, that have easier ways of doing things, and they're just very talented. So I encourage you, if you're part of Instagram, you'll find hundreds of diorama makers. If you're part of Facebook, there's tons of groups you can be part of and enjoy and learn from other people. This little series is just to show you my work, my techniques, my process, and hopefully encourage you and inspire you to start creating your own dioramas. So, like I say, this is just my way of doing things, and it's simple as that. A lot of it I've learned from others, a lot of it I've discovered on my own. I think the ultimate way to learn, and I say it all the time, is just to sit down and do it yourself. And that's the best way to learn. That's the best teacher. But I am also a big advocate of watching tutorials. And when you're stuck on something, research it and learn. And I'm a huge advocate of that. But ultimately, unless you sit down and you start creating for yourself, you'll never really appreciate or enjoy this particular hobby. So I just get that out of the way. I just want you to know this is my techniques, my process, my ideas, and these things are what works for me. I'm always trying to find better ways of doing things, easier, quicker, because I am a slow worker. But I do just sit back and enjoy the process. So what we're going to do here is we're going to recreate this torch on my left. So I want to make a diorama that's going to include 2 torches. So I have my scraps here that I already measured out to size. And this is 1-inch thick foam board, cut to size from Home Depot. So it's a little bit over 2 inches by 2 inches. So 1 inch thick, 2 by 2, a little bit over. Obviously you can do any size you want. So you need 2 pieces of a little bit over 2 by 2 inches and 1 inch thick, and this base is maybe just a little shy of 1/2 inch, and it's 3 by 3. So obviously you can do any dimensions, but I'm trying to recreate this. So this is going to be, so if you have scraps hanging around, this is a great project to use up some scraps, and they would look great in a medieval style diorama, or you can even you can put in any kind of diorama you'd like. So my only tools that I use for this particular piece, this will be part 1. I'm not gonna cram all this into 1 whole part, because it would be an extensive video. So the only tools I need for this part 1, and it's just basically we're gonna carve out the bricks and the shape and everything, and it's just a Dollar Tree knife. And then I have 3 different files. These 2 are from the dollar store. It's a very thin profile. So, and this one I purchased on eBay. I purchased a whole set pretty cheap. And this one's a little bit thicker. I think depending on the lines, the thickness of the lines I want will determine which file I use. So just to give you an idea, okay? So I just start out, obviously we're going to copy this brick pattern. It's a very basic brick pattern. You can do any particular brick pattern you want. I started making this video, then I got interrupted, and you can see how I started some of the lines down here. And but we're gonna start fresh at the top, and these lines are okay because they're gonna be seen at the bottom as well. Actually, no, it won't. So we're gonna flip it. So we are just gonna continue from. So I just take my knife, I extend it fairly far, and I just kind of eyeball it. You can probably already see the cut that I made with my knife. So I just take the knife, eyeball it, and then I'll just scrape it and I'll mark the line. I won't go extremely deep, and you can see how I'm off there a little bit, but that's okay because this does not have to be precise, and actually it's actually more realistic if it's not precise. So that gives you an idea of exactly what I do. I don't use a ruler. If I wanted something a little more precise, I would use my ruler, but because this doesn't have to be, I just go along and eyeball it. So that's what I do for that top piece. So I'll show you in a minute on, and it should, see how it all just lines up nicely. And that top is this section here. So that just gives you an idea of what goes on. So, and then I'll come in and I'm going to make this into 4 sections. So I'll just do it, and like I say, I just eyeball it. I try to make it as straight as possible, but if it's not, it's okay. And I'll just lightly score it. And I'll do the same thing here. Lightly score it. And do the same thing here. So I have 4 sections, just like on the other torch piece. So come down. Now, like I say, it doesn't have to be straight, doesn't have to be exact, but oftentimes when you use an extended blade like this, and before you even start to carve, and you just lay the blade on the foam like that, and you're straight, and you just drag it, you'll get a fairly straight cut, as you can see here. So that's what I do for that. So that's ideally that there, to give you an idea. So now I'll come in and I'll do the horizontal lines. So I already have the top piece, and all I need is one more right here. So you just kind of estimate, and you're going to just do this all 4 sides. And maybe we'll come up a little bit higher. That just gives you an idea. And like I say, lay your knife flat and just drag. And there you go, without a ruler. So we're gonna continue the same pattern on all 4 sides. And we'll just drag. That one's not as straight, but that's okay. Like I say. And oftentimes when you come in with your file, you can make it a little bit more straight. So that one's actually perfect. And we'll match it with the other side. So just try to get straight and drag. That one I'm way off, but like I say, that's okay. You can see how if this was so precise, it just wouldn't give the accuracy you're looking for. So what I'll do next is I'm going to copy this pattern on all 4 sides as well. So we'll come down as such, like this, and just drag our knife. We want 4s, so we'll drag our knife here and here. So this I kind of indented the foam, but that's okay. That I'll texture up, and we'll do our 4s, and we're going to do the same thing here to give you an idea. It's so much easier when you're doing destroyed areas and destroyed buildings, because the cleaner you want a diorama, the more difficult it really is. I have to be honest, because there's less room for mistakes. But when you're doing somewhat of an aged, weathered, destroyed brickwork, there's plenty of room for mistakes, as you can see here. And it's not necessarily, I mean, I call it mistakes, but it's really pretty much the look you're going for. And not only that, when you display this piece, yeah, it might be able to be seen from all four sides, depending on where you have your diorama. But you can take your best cuts, and this one actually looks like the best of the bunch, and you can make that your front. So you can make that the pot that everybody will see, and then the rest, because that's kind of what I did here. This is pretty much, this is obviously the front, but you can pick and choose what you want for a front depending on how you want your flame to look, depending on, you know, what kind of brickwork cleanness you want shown. But you can obviously display this any way at all. So it's totally 100% up to you. You are the creator of your diorama. So you call the shots. So what do I do now is these lines here, I'll come in depending on the thickness that I want. I mean, you could come back in and trim little pieces of more foam to give it a more thicker line. But I'll come in with a file, and what you can do is even before you come in with a file, you can come in with a pencil. And this is a dull pencil. You want to use a dull pencil. And because I didn't want to go so deep, you're just going to want to take your time and outline a little bit thicker on your piece to give it that stone look. And you could stop here if you wanted to, depending on the look you wanted. You could stop right there. But you can also come in with a file, which I do oftentimes, and just file out a thicker line as such, like that. And then you can do the same exact thing at your top. You just take your time so you don't slip and damage an area you don't want damaged. Obviously it can be fixable, because you'll come in and you can come in and damage that area. So that gives you an idea of what that should look like. And if you want a thicker line, you can come in with a thicker file, and you can just thicken that up. I'll just give you an idea here how that can be thicker. You see the difference between this and that? And depending on if you want to add grout later, you can make everything thicker. So, and just take your time doing it. You're just making that opening, and when you get a little thicker, you just file it out as such. So that gives you an idea, and you can do the same exact thing with all of them. So that's what we're going to do, because that's what I did on my last piece. I just, you can start with the pencil, start with a thinner file, and then come in with a thicker file. And you can make this as deep and as wide as you like. So that's what it looks like. So, but we're going to also do the same on these here. But you just have to sort of be careful with the top, because you don't want, and this is what gives you that. This is what gives you that profile. Like that. And it just adds a variety to your brickwork. It all depends on the look you're going for. But that's how you can make your lines thicker, is with a file. And that gives you the idea. And then you can come back in at a later time and add brickwork. And for, I mean, for the sake of time and for the sake of not wanting to bore you guys, On video, I'll do one more side, and we'll do this back side here real quick, or front, or however you want to display it. So just come in with your pencil and just run your line. Take your time so you don't slip. I've slipped all the time and I get aggravated because I put marks in where I really don't want them. I hope I'm capturing this on video, but just gives you an idea as such. Then you can take your thinner file and you can start making that a little thicker and a little deeper. And like I say, you can stop after the pencil, you can stop after this particular file, or you can even go a little more extreme, like I'm going to do with the next file. So that's what it looks like with the thinner file. So we're going to come in with the thicker file, just to show you once again, depending on the look you're going for. And that gives you an idea of what can be accomplished with simple little tools. And this is just my technique. Obviously you don't do this for like brickwork kind of walls. I mean, you can for sure, but this is, I just started doing this when the files, when I started making this particular torch and stuff. So that's what it looks like. And I'll do all four sides, but I won't do it on, I mean, I can do it on camera. I don't want to lose my audience because not many people watch a long time. So I just want to keep this pretty straightforward and basic. And see, this one's not overly straight, but that's okay. And just come in as such. And try to keep your line nice and straight. And like I say, you'll do this for all four sides. And then you're going to want to do your vertical as such. It's almost like sawing it. This is the line here that I put by mistake. We're not gonna touch that, because we want the pattern to be the same on all four sides. So that's what you do, guys. I just wanted to, like I say, there could be an easier, better way, but this is how I do it, and I get halfway decent results that I'm happy with. You know, people may not like what you do. People may not, you know, might not be, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I know that in regards to my personality, and I'm just the kind of guy, is what you see is what you get. I'm not going to be somebody I'm not. I'm not going to do stupid things just for views. I'm a little too old for that. So, but I will take the time to show you my process, and you're more than welcome to watch the videos and learn. If not, I completely understand. So this here is our sides are all done except for this side. I'm not going to do that side. I'll do that side off camera. So I'm going to make that one my front. So that'll be my front as such. So what I'm going to do next is, and we'll probably end shortly because I'm already approaching almost 20 minutes. So I'm going to take my tea light, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball. I'm just going to take it and eyeball and just see. And that actually looks really good there. And if you guys can see, let me, you just want to even all the way around. So you want an even amount. I mean, you could measure it, but I just, for the sake of time and for the sake of just, it doesn't have to be precise. As long as it's eyeballed by eye, it actually can come down a little bit more. And that's perfect. So then I push in, and I'll indent the profile of the light, the circle. So, and that is what's left. So at a later time, on the next video, I'll show you how I cut this. So I take my hot wire knife, which is a long, thin piece, and I'll just come through and cut it. I'll sand it, and then I'll insert this piece way down into. It'll be sunken in to where there's just a little bit of a profile left showing, and then you can make that your pit and fill it in with pieces of rock and things like that to give it that look on top. That's all I do. And then on the next video, I'll show you how I cut this. And on this particular bottom piece, it's no different than the top, other than right here and the bottom is cut a little bit differently to give it a little bit more of a different profile. So just to show you folks how I do things, and this is pretty much vlog number 1 of I actually like to make it a series, and I like to actually start capturing more hands-on work in process that I do, so you folks can get an idea of the process a little bit and maybe be inspired. And if you learn something, a little bit of something, that's even better. That's the whole purpose of this channel. So if you have absolutely any questions about anything, please ask. I appreciate when folks comment. Please like, subscribe. If you feel like you need to dislike, go ahead and dislike. Yeah, whatever. And I just wanted to show you my process. And let me cover something really quick before I go. So I'll carve this exact pattern into this. And the reason why I like to get my profile first is I can kind of line it up perfectly to give it so it looks symmetrical, so it's not completely off. So that gives you an idea. And I'll just do that. I'll do that again over here, and I'll show you that on the next video. I don't want this one to drag out and be too long, but I did want to show you this first part of carving and using the file for different thicknesses that you might be looking for. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for part 2, which should be I have to work shortly, but maybe tomorrow I'll be able to record it and then upload it, so we can follow the making of this torch from this particular video. Okay, enjoy your night, enjoy your day. Thank you for watching if you made it this far, and take care.